to
Hi, I was writing you guys a note.
We are live with Lady Phyllis, and we are hoping to have a great show. Everyone say hello in
This
the
is our
comments.
mom. Be nice, be kind, be respectful.
Jen Lorna.
Ma, that's Jen Callard. Do you remember Jen Callard
I remember the name.
from high school?
Yeah.
She's not Jen Vesio. Hey, Jen, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
We got Tammy. Hello,
What's up,
Tammy.
Tammy? From Georgia. Georgia.
I don't know who this is. It just says Facebook user.
You know, I was just going to write you, and then it went on. Hi, Tammy. I read Tammy this week, right? Tammy, is that you? You can write in comments.
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah. So I want to talk about psychics in general. Let's talk about how long we've been going to psychics and the rules. What are the rules with psychics? Like, talk about your experience.
Well, the first rule of Psychic Club is you don't talk about Psychic Club. Fight Club?
Well,
anyone?
I always compare everything to George Anderson. If anybody wants an amazing experience in their life, you go to georgeanderson.com. It's very expensive, but he is the Cadillac of mediumship. The way he does it, you are not allowed to ask questions. You're only allowed to say yes or no.
I always thought that like they would like Google things about you and they would YouTube stuff about you or like Facebook stuff about you. And like our mom is a full-fledged psychic now. She's a psychic, more of a medium than a psychic.
Yeah,
our mom's she's a full-fledged medium, and there is no way she could retain anything in a reading.
But you can't spend the time on it, because you don't know. First of all, like
there's no way
you book a reading and somebody else shows up, so you can't even do that. They may give I've done that with mediums where I've given a fake name or I've given someone else's name when I book for someone else. We've been going. The first time we were actually summoned, somebody called and said, somebody's trying to get through to you, and we booked with George Anderson, and I always say there was life before George and then there was life after George, and your grandparents and your father went with me, and it was one of those life-changing experiences that we were all in shock. And that was the day before computers, by the way. There were, we weren't in the phone book.
That was the age of house phones.
Yeah, that was the age of house phones.
There wasn't even a *69 to call someone, like to block your number or call someone back.
Right. When we got through and the messages started, and he was accurate with names. It was kind of like we walked out of there, we were poleaxed. And I remember my father and Dad, your father, went in so skeptical, and when they went out, they just couldn't even speak. They were,
We got some people. Hold on.
Yeah,
we got Bree
Who
Cohen.
lost a father? That's what I want to know, is who lost a father who's hanging out here.
Bree Cohen is here. Nick Myers is here. Christine.
Yeah, but who lost a father?
Capper. If anyone lost a father, Eric, what do they do? How do they?
I think you have to be a little bit more.
Yeah, like
descriptive if you can.
Mom, I lost a father.
Yeah, I know you did. But your father's not here. But he just said to me, "You didn't lose." I don't want to repeat what he said, but you didn't lose your father.
No, I know.
But somebody lost a father whose name started with an R. Is there somebody with an R? Their first name, Ralph, Robert, Richard, somebody who's lost a parent, or it could be a grandfather that raised them. It could be somebody who's also, I'm getting an older woman, a grandmother, and the name is Harriet or Hattie or Addie, a name like that, like an old-fashioned Addie, Hattie, something like that. Also, I'm also hearing Carrie. Anybody? Does that ring a bell with anybody? Somebody who has a Carrie on the other side. Carri.
We got one. Christine Capra, who's my friend from high school, from college, said grandfather Ralph. But how do I get her to get on this? And we got another one. Lauren Knock also says a me. Grandfather Ralph from Christine
Here's
Capra.
What I think. I don't know how we're going to be able to grab them, but here's what we're going to do. I think we just have to make it like a lottery somewhat. And I'm going to put up my email address right now. First person that emails me will get on. So email me, guys. eric.okon@blsco.com.
And if you have someone named like Ralph, like Christine said, Ralph, if you could put that
email me,
like
email that to me. And if somebody has a Ralph, or what other names did you say, Mom?
Well, it was R. So Ralph was the name. Actually, all day today, Ralph's been stopping in. So whatever it is, I think he's been anticipating this. So I'm leaning more towards, I don't know her name, but
Christine
Christine.
Capra. I don't know her married name. It's always going to be Christine Capra. If she emails in, great. If not,
I had a long discussion with Lauren's father this week. I remember his name started with an R, but I don't remember if it was Robert or Richard. But
Irving, I think.
Oh no, it was Irving. That's right. But
Irving,
and I did get the name. Well, I got it's very similar. But anyhow, so when you go to a medium, what's the first rule that we always do? We when they say something, don't help them, right? Don't help. Because it kind of wrecks the trip, because it like puts ideas into the medium. Medium is trying hard not to use what's in their head, but what they see coming in. Like, in other words, they're trying to sift through all the thoughts in our heads and just give thoughts that that don't belong there, that don't originate with them, that don't come from their imagination. So that's really what a medium does. And it's no special skill. Anybody could learn to do this. There's no secret sauce. There's no gifts. Anybody can learn to do it. I went to class for 18 months and I studied with about 8 different teachers. It's not expensive, and you learn a lot about yourself.
Eric, I have 18 people on my feed watching us.
Yeah, no, we're.
Does anybody have a question? Do they want to, in the chat, do you want to ask a question about it?
All right, so I just emailed somebody the link.
Okay.
And we will see what fate has in store.
Stuart just sent me a picture of us on his screen. He just put us up on his Uncle Stewie.
Hi, Stuart.
What's up, Stu? How's everyone's week going?
Stuart's household this week, right? I'm going to be a great aunt.
Yep.
But I will say, 4 months ago, I told my nephew, who didn't tell me, I told him he was having a baby girl, if you remember.
Yes, you did.
Our
and
cousin Matthew,
just the FYI, if you go to ladyphyllis.com, you can book a session with our mother. And also we have group sessions now available. So if you have 2, 3, or 4 people, you can do a group session via Zoom for an hour, and everybody can get read in that session. So we are
from limousines to dead people.
And
they're not dead. They take objection to that, Michael.
I know. No, when we first went to George Anderson, right when Dad passed, I mean, the first thing Dad said is like, "You'll never understand this, but like, my body is dead, but I am fully 100% alive."
That's right.
That's how they explain it. That's how it was explained to me, in like several times.
Do you feel you had a calling to do this?
I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because I missed my family.
You always had intuition. I mean, when my grandfather died, he died in the airport at JFK. We just came back from Las Vegas.
A blowout weekend.
Yeah, and Vegas. Michael and I, we stopped because we saw this famous
Bob Stupak.
We saw he owned the Stratosphere.
He built and owned the Stratosphere.
And we saw him, we wanted his autograph. Like, we were totally into that. And then all of a sudden, my mom stayed back with us, and my grandfather and my grandmother walked ahead. And then my mom was with us, and then all of a sudden she turned around and she's like,
we have to go.
We have to go. My father just died." And she just started running through the airport.
I said,
and
"Mom,
we were terminals away. We were terminals away from him."
That was right. Yeah. And he was dead by the time we got there.
He sat down in baggage claim and he keeled over and he was gone.
International arrivals. Yeah.
Yep. Sarah Yesnian says, "Miss you all." Hello, Sarah.
Oh, hey, Sarah. How are you?
Miss you.
Guys too.
Bree Cohen asked, "What was the older lady's name coming through?" Ma, did you get an older lady's name coming through?
Hattie, like a Harriet or an Addie.
I emailed someone the link and they did not join yet, so I'm going to email the next person.
It could even be an Arlene or one of those EEN names like Eileen, Arlene. I'm getting that kind of a name.
How has this changed your life?
Hey, Julie.
What's up, Jules?
Yeah, Jules, it made it bearable. You understand that, right? Julie lost her father, and it makes loss bearable. You know, when you feel that that it validates for me when I read other people. Julie, your father's name was Robert, correct?
It's going to take a few seconds.
Yeah, it's a few second delay. You
Yeah, I want to say your father was Robert. I mean, I sort of remember that, but I kind of hear him saying, "Say hello to my Jules."
All right, we got someone here. Unless you want to continue with Julie for a second.
Yeah, Julie, he's showing me the fishing. I know that you see a lot of that, but I got the image right away. He's showing
his
Tom.
name was Tom.
Who's Robert who's Robert? Is there a Robert? Because I've been hearing Robert and Ralph all day today. Was one of your uncles Robert?
I'm breathing so heavy right now.
Why?
Because I'm so enamored with
All right, so we have 2 people waiting here.
Okay.
So I guess
Julie, we're going to get back to you. Let's take
Yeah.
somebody on and see if I can.
Yeah, well, there you go. My uncle that died was Robert.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I knew somebody. So Robert's coming through from there, and they are showing me images. It's like they're competing with fish. One is showing a bigger fish, and another one showing a bigger fish. I don't know if that means. I know your father used to fish, but I don't know if Robert fished.
All right, so we are gonna have Lisa, Lucky Lisa.
Hi,
Hey, Lisa.
how are
How
you?
are you?
Are you excited?
Thanks for coming on, Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa, how'd you hear about this? Or like, did you just scroll through Facebook? Are we friends?
My cousin is Scott Shear.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So he sent me a clip from last time that he was on, and it.
How do you like that? That's great.
Keeping it in the family. I hope Scott's watching.
All right, Michael,
Thank
be
you, Scott.
quiet. Be quiet.
So I know. I remember from last week. So I want to get out of the way what I do know. I know that one side of his family, and I'm leaning that this is the side you're on, was in the garment business. Was Saul your grandfather, or that was the other side?
Saul is my poppy.
Yeah, it was your pop. So that was your grandfather, and his wife is gone too.
No.
She's here. Is there a Hattie or an Adele that belongs to you? An A name Adele?
No.
Write the names down, because very often the younger generation doesn't remember people.
Okay.
There's no Harriet or Adele or Sidel. Is there Sidel? Some kind of Adele kind of name, Sidel or Adele, related to anybody in the family?
I'm not sure.
Both your parents are here, though, right? They're not on the other side.
Yeah.
So Poppy is the only one that's gone over, right?
Well, my grandpa is gone
Your other grandpa.
too, and my grandma, my dad's side.
So both grandpas are on the other side,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
were they both at your bat mitzvah? Who's making that?
I never
noise?
had a bat mitzvah.
You never had a bat mitzvah? Did you have did you have a party that they went to for you? Like, I'm assuming it was a bat mitzvah, but did you have a party that they went to for you, that they were both there, like a sweet 16? Was there a celebration where they were there for you? And did you dance with one of them at a party, at a wedding, or at a party? Did you dance when you were stepping on one of their feet? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. What was it?
That was at my cousin's bat mitzvah. We were
Okay.
dancing with Poppy, me and my mom, and him.
Yeah, were you standing on his feet? You don't remember?
I don't remember.
He's showing me dancing on his feet. How old were you?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
You were like 5? You were like a little girl?
No, I wasn't that young.
But
I was
okay.
20 maybe.
Oh, so you're a big girl. Okay, so you weren't standing on his feet. But you definitely, he's bringing up the memory of you dancing. He said he couldn't have been prouder of you. He says, boy, she's some dancer. Does that sound like him?
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is like my cousin's bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
Like my mom has a picture of him and her dancing.
Yeah.
I remember like dancing on the dance floor with them, but
Yeah.
that was a good memory.
Yeah. Did he have very white hair?
Yeah.
Was it kind of balding, like away from his head, like two kind of things like that, like the receding hairline?
Yeah.
Like he had like hair in the center?
Yeah, it was like thin.
Yeah, and he combed it back. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. And he was in the garden. He was like a snazzy. He liked to dress. Like he was a sharp dresser.
He always wore like black shirts.
Black. Oh, he liked it, the gangster style.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
a tough guy.
yeah. He was. Yeah, he's showing me that he's a tough guy. You know. But he had a lot of joy. He's showing me something like a memory from when you were little, and like he's playing with play school, banging things with you, or playing with you when you were little, like very little. Did you either go to his house or did he come to your house and play with you on the floor? Like he was one of those interactive grandfathers?
Well, there's actually a picture of me when I was little in my mom's house in the living room. I
Yeah.
was like a diaper. He was
Yeah.
on the floor with me playing. I think he had something in his hand. I would have to look. I think that picture would have to find, but it
He's
sounds
showing me like the play school hammer, and he's also showing me like Barbie dolls. Like he wasn't afraid to get silly.
always got silly with us.
Yeah. 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 Did you, when you used to see him, did you used to like leap into his arms? He's showing me like leaping, like he'd come and he'd bend down and you'd like fly into his arms. Like it was almost like a thing that when he arrived.
I mean, I don't know. No, not really.
Like he's showing me like he would pull up. He had a caddy.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, he had a caddy. He's showing me he drove he had nice wheels. And you know, he and your grandmother used to come and he'd get out of the car. And it was like a big deal that he came to visit.
Yeah. They always
Yeah.
came over when they were both able to drive. You know.
Was he at your high school college graduate? Did he make it to college graduation?
No.
He didn't. Did you wear a white cap and gown or a yellow cap and gown?
No.
You wore a cap and gown though, right?
I actually never finished college, so I didn't graduate, but
But did he make it to high school? To the high school graduation?
it's so hard to remember. Like feels.
I know. That's what happens after a while. You can't remember if they were there or not there. The only way you know is if you look at the pictures. But he's showing me you in a cap and gown, so I assumed it was college. But he's showing me, yeah. And you went to your prom?
No,
Was he there? You didn't go to the prom?
No.
Did you go to a party where he was there that you were dressed up for pictures or something? Where were you that you were at a party where you were dressed and he came over to see you?
I mean, we always did stuff as a family, and like, birthdays were always big and stuff. We would always go out to dinner, but nothing really. I mean, get-togethers with family if they had parties and stuff, maybe.
Did he buy you? Did he or your grandmother buy you that like Tiffany bracelet that was so hot for so many years? The white gold or that silver tip with the heart on it? Did he buy you something that with a heart that dangles?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, check your jewelry box. He bought you something. He bought you for one of your birthdays. They bought you like you wanted it and they bought it for you. It was something that it was a big deal for you. You were young.
I have a ring by them, like a diamond ring. And I also have, this happened after he passed, but I have his gold chain that he wore every day. I have that.
A thick gold chain.
A gold chain, yeah.
That he wore.
Yeah, he wore it.
Nothing was on it, right? No high? He didn't
No.
have a high on there? No, so it was just a thick gold chain.
Yeah.
Did you used to call him on the phone and like talk to him?
I mean, nothing out of the norm. Like we would always hear his voice, and he would think, you know, if he came over, he would leave us voicemails. Got home and that like thanking my mom and thanking Daryl and like, you know,
Who's Daryl?
That's my stepdad.
Okay.
We always used to hang out in the backyard and like have barbecues and stuff, and he would always be so thankful and like have such a nice time at our house. So,
But he always made time to sit and talk to you. Like when you came out, it wasn't like the kids were ignored. He wanted you to sit with him, and he wanted you to talk to him. He genuinely was interested in your day, right? Like he wanted, yeah, he wants you to know that he's still genuinely interested. He's like watching over and watching. Are you working now? You're
I work like freelance, like part-time.
right. Are you building like a business or something? Like you're building something, like you're trying to be an independent contract, whatever it is, but you're building a like a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it something to do with the web or with the internet? Are you trying to be are you trying to be an influencer or something?
No. No.
But is it related to that?
Well, I do a bunch of different things to make money. That
Uh-huh.
sounds really weird.
No, he gets it. You're what you call
I'm a hustler.
a loof mention, he says. My granddaughter's a loof, which is somebody who makes money out of there. You go from things to thing, and you find ways, like if there's a way to make money, he says you're going to do okay. Whatever it is that you're working on now, it's like you're having a slow start. It's like it's really crawling right now, but it's going to pick up. I don't know what it's a service. I don't know if you're providing a service or if you're doing something where you're going to build up a client base. But he's showing me like mailer. I don't quite understand, but it's like mailers. It's like promotion or mailers or something like that.
Well, do you want to know what it is?
Sure.
So I work in people's houses. I either bartend or I serve their parties.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, it's been a little slow with the virus and everything, but I'm gonna like make business cards and do it on my own. And I've been getting pretty good. I'm getting good money from it. And
Did you go to school for bartending? Did you go to school for bartending? Where did you learn how to bartend? Where?
So I work for a company that just kind of threw me into it. I was a server, and then she just needed me as a bartender, and I just kind of learned as I went. And now, like,
he's making me feel that you're going to be very successful at this. That you're going to build. You got to bring on other people like you, and you're going to assign them jobs. Like in other words, you're going to be a businesswoman. He's saying, you have like the business head from the family. You understand that? And he sees it's going to work. He thinks it's going to work. He's showing me that movie.
That's good.
Like Coyote Ugly. Was it Coyote Ugly with Tom Cruise when they were throwing? Was that? No, that wasn't it.
Cocktail, but Coyote Ugly was a bar.
A bar, but he's not showing me that one. He's showing me the one where they were dueling with the liquor bottles. What was that movie?
It was Cocktail.
What was it? Cocktail. He's showing me Cocktail. Like he's like, she's going to be okay with this. He's really proud of you, and he says, stick with it. Stick with it. Don't. He says a few bad months, or he says if you have determination, and he says you have to put yourself out there. He's saying, okay, he's giving you advice. He's saying make videos of you serving. He says make videos of you serving, or he says make recipes and videos of it so you can show people what you're doing again. He says use all the different things, the tools that you could use as like things that I wouldn't know or he wouldn't know. Use those visual aids to really sell it. And he said go with it. Go full force. Okay. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Bye, Lisa.
Oh, who's Allison? Is there an Allison?
Yes, you too.
So I can't hear you. Is there an Allison? Do you know an Allison?
Are you talking to me?
Do you know an Allison?
Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like a weird connection.
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Do you know an Allison?
No.
No. Okay, so it must be for somebody else. right, it was great meeting you, Lisa.
Bye, Lisa. Thanks. Say hi to Scott.
Bye-bye.
All right. Now we're going to get Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi,
How
and
are you?
the pronunciation is good. Thank you.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Sherry.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So how did you hear about the guys?
LinkedIn gave me an alert, and so
I love
I
it.
Good old LinkedIn.
Yeah,
populated
I
it.
don't know you though, right? We don't know each other.
No, I
Okay.
don't know any of you really.
Right, okay. All right. So I'm getting an older female for you. Do you have a mother or a grandmother who passed?
Yes,
Okay. It's your mom?
I lived with my grandma, and
Yes.
she was like a mom.
She
Well,
was
my
like,
mom is not doing well, so that's just interesting.
yeah, so it's your grandmother is coming through. And she did say to me that you lived with her. She did
Yes.
say that. Is your grandfather on the other side?
My father and grandfathers.
Grandfather.
Yes.
Were your mother and father together when he passed?
No.
They were.
Well, yes. My mom. Yes. Sorry, my mom is alive. The grandmother that passed, that she was married to my grandfather. They're both passed. But yes, my mom was there when my dad passed.
Okay, so they were together. They weren't separated or like divorced or whatever. They were together, right?
Correct.
Okay. And do you have a brother?
Yes.
Is your brother passed?
I have two brothers passed.
Two brothers passed. Right. Okay. If there's anything you don't want me to talk about, say, but did one of them pass from drugs?
No, I mean, my brother David was a partier.
Well, don't tell me the names
Okay.
because let them work for it. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It just, when you give it, then I get distracted. So I want them, the only way, I'm still getting that name Robert. Was one of them Rob or Robert? An R name?
That was his middle name.
Okay. So there he is. He's been here since the beginning. So he's the middle brother?
Oldest.
The oldest. So then there's another brother, but they didn't die together, right?
Correct.
Right. Your poor mother. Okay. I'm getting that one of them. David died first.
Yes.
What was there a vehicle accident? Was there an accident?
That might be my nephew coming through.
Oh my God. Was there a bike? Was it a bike with a car accident or a motorcycle?
This is kind of weird because I was on a motorcycle when my other brother passed.
Okay, you were on a motorcycle because they're showing me a motorcycle, but you didn't see it happen. Like, in other words, you didn't see it happen.
Mm-mm.
Nobody was in the armed forces, though, right?
They were.
They
There
were.
was one.
One. Did one of them die in service?
No.
No. So they came here, and they were like, in other words, did one of them die because of making wrong decisions, so to speak? Like they were in the wrong place at the wrong time?
I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give it away, I guess.
No, don't give it away. We'll make them work for it. But I'm getting a party. Like somebody was at a party and something happened at a party, like maybe a shooting. Something happened. There was a party and then it happened after the party, or there was an event and it happened after the event. That's what I'm getting. Like there was a lot of drinking. It got out of hand and it got rowdy and then something happened. Is that anywhere close to what happened?
I'm not sure. That could be more of my nephew. But when you said shooting, that would involve the second brother that passed.
Yeah, because I definitely got a gunshot. And I'm definitely feeling like he got caught in crossfire, or he was in the wrong place at the wrong. Again, I'm getting that wrong place, wrong time. That maybe he stepped in to stop a fight, or there was a fight or a robbery or something, and he did something he shouldn't have done.
I mean, there wasn't he did something that I wish he wouldn't have done, but I don't know that it was a robbery or anything. But was he caught kind of in the middle? Yes, you could say that.
Yeah, because I'm see him with bullets flying on all sides. Like, in other words, like he's in the middle, and it's night, and the bullets are coming from both directions at him, and he just doesn't know where to turn. That's what he's showing me. Does that pretty much describe?
It's not the actual event of how the shooting, but it makes sense because of the. I just don't have all the details. I was hoping to get some, but that makes sense. I know he did something he probably wouldn't have.
He was with the wrong. He was with the wrong people. He's telling me to tell you, it was his fault only that he chose to be with the wrong people. Do you understand that? That his intent was never. His intent was never to get caught in this, and he was just it just happened. And then when it happened, he panicked. He didn't know where to go, what to do. It was almost like, was he with his best friend?
No, where he was found was by himself.
He's showing me that he was with somebody when it happened.
Well, that's interesting because I've often wondered if somebody was involved in it.
It's definitely not a suicide. Like, in other words, he didn't shoot himself. Well, that's what they're saying.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
In other words, that's what the police report said. They said it was a suicide, right? Was there a dumpster? Was he found near a dumpster?
No.
Why would they show me a dumpster?
I'm not real sure.
Mm-hmm. Did he have a girlfriend?
He was married.
He was married. He had 2 kids? He had more.
He had more, but my nephew had 2.
So I'm getting 2 different. In other words,
yes, they're both coming through.
They're both coming through, and so your nephew had 2 kids. So I'm getting somebody who had 2 kids.
The part about the drinking would belong to him,
right? And he was on a motorcycle or a bicycle.
He was not. He was in a vehicle. But the weird thing about it is the only way I know that. That's interesting because my brother liked to bicycle, but there was not a bicycle at the site, and I was on a motorcycle when we found out.
Right.
So
your nephew that died was one of your 2 brothers' children?
No.
It was from. I'm getting a feeling that your nephew is from. You have a sister?
Mm-hmm.
She's the sister. This is your sister's child.
Yes.
Who's Angie or Angela? Write it down. If you don't recognize the name, write it down. And who had a name that started with B?
Last names.
It could be either or, but I'm getting a first name like Brian or Bruce. Write it down. Okay. Brian or Bruce, or Bradley, Brian, Bruce. I'm getting like a B name.
Okay.
You don't have an Alexander, do you?
Mm-mm. I don't recognize that.
Mm-hmm. Was your brother found, the one who they're saying killed himself, was he found in a car?
No. That's how my nephew was found, though. It's almost like they're both trying to come
through at the same time. I'm asking them one at a time. Just come through. I'm asking for a name or initial. Do you have a Scott? Is there a Scott? Okay, who's the Scott?
My other brother. He's
Okay,
alive,
so Scott's the one that was shot, right?
no.
Okay. No, so Scott is the
It's
other
a
one.
large family. Lots of
Yeah, it
brothers and
is. There's a
sisters.
lot of dead people, right? Yeah. Okay. So Scott is the oldest, right?
No,
No, he's the middle brother.
he's in the middle.
He's in the middle. So whoever David was the oldest, right?
Yes.
So David died by gunfire, right?
No.
No. So okay, don't tell me how. Okay, and then Scott died with the gunfire, right?
No.
There's another brother.
Correct.
You lost 3 brothers.
No, I lost 2, but Sky is one of the brothers. So but he's not the one that's passed.
Oh, so Scott's here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So they're calling. Okay, and do you have a G like Gary or Garrett? Is there a Gary or a Garrett?
No, but we call my mom Gigi.
Okay, so your brothers are calling out to Gigi. All right, so there's the G, because I'm hearing that Gus sound. Okay.
Yeah, she's also was called Ginny, so that makes sense.
Who wore a bandana around their neck? Who used to wear like a bandana around their neck? Like, you know, those red bandanas, like
Yeah.
they would.
I don't.
Did they wear it around their head like a bandana? You know those red bandanas? Who smoked?
Yeah.
Which one of them smoked?
Um,
Cigarettes.
One of them one's alive that smokes, and there's another one that passed.
I'm talking about the one who passed. Which
would be
one
the
of those?
oldest.
The oldest. That's that David.
Yes.
Right. And did somebody have a problem with their leg? Like they walked with a limp? Or was there a bone involved? Was something wrong with his bones, or did something happen where he couldn't walk?
Yeah. In the end, he couldn't.
Yeah. Did he had cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did he get lymphoma and it traveled through his whole body? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Okay.
thought it was operable, like one little thing.
Right. And it
we
was
went in,
all over.
and it was everywhere.
Yeah, it was all. He's the way he's showing me. He got very skinny, and he's showing me he's wearing a bandana, like it's very loose around his neck. I don't know why, but that's how he's presenting himself to me. Look at he's saying, look at the pictures. Do you have long hair?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
That's what I was weird, because I was like, if anyone's wearing one, it would be him.
Yeah, no,
But
it's
I was
him.
trying to place
He's wearing like jeans that almost are too big and they're falling off his ass.
Yeah.
Okay, that's him. And he smokes. He's showing me he smokes. He wants you to know there was no pain. If you're worried, are you worried that there was pain? He says, go ahead.
Yeah.
He didn't have pain. He said he was well out of it. And he said he suffered only watching you watch him suffer. Do you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was really hard for him to see Gigi. Now, did your father pass before him?
Yes.
He did. Your father was there to greet him. Who's Kyle? Kyle?
I don't recognize.
Okay, name. Kyle, Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin? Who's Kevin?
Brother-in-law.
Okay. Were they
But I'm
buddies?
very close to him. He's
Yeah,
like my
buddies.
brother.
Yeah, they're like bros. You know what I mean? It was like they were like this, right? They used to hang out. He's showing me like a fire pit in the backyard that he used to sit, right? And they'd sit and they'd talk. They put on some music, and the fire would be, and they would just talk. He liked
smoke, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So and smoke, right? Of course. Yeah. Did he eat s'mores? He's showing me s'mores. Did he like? He said we weren't all just cigarettes. Like, did they eat s'mores?
I mean, it could be.
Yeah,
I
he's showing me.
don't know. He was a lot older than me, so I don't know.
Was he married?
Mm-hmm.
Did his wife have a name that started with M, like Mary, Marjorie, Marianne, an M name? Or who has the M name in the family?
There's a lot of M names. None that I think are associated with David, but with my sister, all of her children are M names.
But they're his nephews, right? His nieces.
Good, sis.
That's
I gotta,
okay. Don't worry.
Sorry,
Don't
just
worry.
a minute.
Don't worry. The kids.
Grandchildren.
Is there a
Good night.
Mikey?
Good night.
Is there a
Good
Mikey?
night.
Go ahead, kiss.
Yes,
Go ahead,
go.
kiss him. Go ahead, kiss him. Is there a Mikey?
Hold on a quick
Go
second.
ahead, go kiss him.
I'm on the phone, buddy. Give me a hug goodnight. Give me a hug goodnight.
Is there a Michael or a Mikey? One of the kids?
Yes, Michael.
Michael. There's a Michael. Right. Is he a scamp, this Michael? Is he
Is he what?
scamp? Like
Say it one more time. Is he
a
what?
scamp, like a troublemaker? Is he like?
Not that I'm aware of.
Right. Would this brother have anything to do with this Michael? Is he his godfather? Could he be his godfather? Ask your sister if that's the godfather of the baby.
No, I don't. I'm trying to think. I mean,
there's a lot.
Michael was kind of involved with all these M kids because they were the oldest part of my family. Those brothers, they all had children when I was still a child. You know, I was 8 or 9 or 10. And so they were all involved. So
who was in construction? Who was in stonemason or construction? Who did that kind of work, or driveways like that? Like they laid driveway, you know, the blacktop.
Oh, my sister's name is Melissa.
Okay, yeah, all right. There's the M. But who?
And she's the troublemaker. That's
okay, because he told me it's a troublemaker. So that he's talking about Melissa. But
okay.
who did road work or worked on the high? Who did work on the?
She didn't work on it, but she worked for a company that did it.
Okay, so he's directing you to her. He's not talking about Michael. He's talking about Melissa.
That makes sense.
Okay, because he's showing me like the big steamrollers on the road. So, yeah, like all I get is an image. So you have to plug the hole of where it belongs. Does someone feel bad that they didn't reach out to the brother who was found shot? Is there some kind of a problem that somebody feels that maybe he called and they didn't answer the phone, that they called him and they didn't pick up the phone?
Well, I think my issue always has been because I had talked to him not that long before that, and I didn't pick up on anything.
You couldn't have. You couldn't have. You have to let that go. If he killed himself.
And that's what I question. If
he killed himself, it was a mistake. It wasn't meant to happen. Like, was he depressed? Did he get depressed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he on medication for depression?
No.
Did he like isolate himself from the family?
He didn't. His wife pretty much did.
He wants you to stop torturing yourself about it. He says it's in the whatever it is. Okay, the crossfire he's showing me was he caught in the crossfire between, because I get an image and I have to interpret it. But did he get the feeling that he was in the crossfire between your family and her family, or your family and her? Was he?
That could be true. I mean, because he did have a different mom and he was pretty much raised by the mom. So that could be true. But it's just the circumstances of supposedly why he did it that I guess I want to know more about. And that's why I question, did he do it, or did someone else?
I can't answer that. Like, I can't answer it. I have an image. I heard gunshots. I felt the impact of bullets, but I felt them that's why I asked if he was in the army. I felt the impacts in my midsection, and I would assume it was his head if it was, right? So, you know, that evidence points to, you know, a suicide, but I can't tell you it was a suicide or it wasn't a suicide. But understand one thing. you couldn't have stopped whatever way it was going. There was nothing you could have done about it. Do you understand that? And in the end, he's saying it really doesn't matter because whatever was going on, he wasn't in a place where he wanted to. Do you understand? Like he couldn't be where he was. And he's sorry that whatever happened caused you this kind of pain. But, you know, for lack of anything else, he's happy to be well out of it. You know what I mean? Whatever was going on in his life, I'm definitely getting a tug of war. I'm getting like a tug of war. Maybe it was even friends or something, but there was definitely something where he felt like he was being torn into. And again, I'm still getting the feeling that whoever he was with, the company was not the best company he was keeping. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Whoever he was hanging with was not a good influence. It was not, wherever he was, whoever he was with, he shouldn't have been with them. But he wants you to let go of it because it doesn't matter now. Do you see your nephews and nieces? Do you keep in touch with them?
I did the first year, but when, I don't know how much of it I can tell you, when his wife moved on within a month, that's kind of hard too. So I tried for a year, but I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm. It hurts. But he's saying it was no good in the house. Like you get it that he wasn't happily married, right? You get whatever was going on. It was a lot more complicated. Did he have nobody to talk to?
I don't think he did because his dad, which was my dad, was already passed.
Yeah. He had no uncle that he could go to, and your brother was gone already, right? Your other brother was gone. And the other brother served as kind of like the family patriarch. Did he kind of serve as the go-to guy?
The one that shot himself, yeah.
Oh, he was the one who took everybody's burdens, right?
And that's why, like on the girl side, I am, and that's why I feel bad that I didn't pick up on anything.
You couldn't have. You couldn't have. He wouldn't have showed you. Did he present one way when he was with you, like that he would never show you what he was really feeling? Was he the type of guy who was like, I'm all man, and he wouldn't show you that he was struggling with things?
He came across as he was carefree.
Right. Right. He's showing me tracks of Tears of a Clown. You know that song, right? The track of Tears of, who is it? Smokey Robinson does that song that nobody knew what was really going on inside. But either way, he was in a bad, there was bad company all over, whether it was the marriage or whatever it was. He was just not, it was a bad scene everywhere, and he had nobody to talk to about it. But he wants you to let go of it. He's with your brother, he's with your father, and he's with the nephew. Is there a Richie?
I don't recognize that name.
Write the name down.
Okay.
Richie. I get a lot of those R names. Is there
there's a lot of Roberts and
yeah, I asked for a Robert before, but is there a Stephen?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. I don't recognize them, but I mean, maybe these have something to do with people I didn't know too.
The brother that died of lymphoma, did he have a best friend? Like a really best friend? Somebody he was really close with?
I know he was close to his wife and his one of his sons.
No, I'm talking about a buddy that he was really close with.
I mean, I don't know about a buddy. I mean, he was so much older. I just don't think I would know.
Right. Right. He's almost like an uncle to you.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, they're almost like uncles to you. Yeah. Hold on a second. Is there somebody with an N name like Nate or Nat? Nathan, Nat?
Not that's I recognize it's past, except for
It could be anybody. It could be.
It could be past, or it doesn't have to be past. But is there
well,
any?
the weird thing about it is there is a Nathan on my dad's side, but then there is a great aunt of mine that we would call Nan. Like I didn't
Nan.
ever call her Nan, but a lot of people called her Nan.
Yeah, now I'm getting an like a guy with the Nate sounds, or then like that kind of a name, or a Nettie.
I mean,
Is there
I
an
do have a
Eddie?
cousin Nathan, but I don't
Yeah.
have a.
Who is he related to?
He's my dad's brother's son.
Okay. Is your dad's brother gone?
Yes.
So that he's calling out to Nathan.
Oh.
Okay. So like what they do is they piggyback on.
Okay.
Because I would never come up with a name like Nathan. So
that makes sense, because I'm probably the only contact out of my dad's kids they have contact with that particular family.
Yeah. There's another CH name like Cheryl, or there's another CH name. Who's the other CH name? A girl. Or SH. Sherry, like SHERRY, or Shari. Cheryl. There's another CH name.
CH.
Cassie. Is there a Cassie?
No, but my brain is trying to think of some more distant.
Now they're telling me it's one of the kids. It's like there's a ton of like nieces and nephews. Like you have a huge family. Like when you guys get together, it's like 80 people.
Yeah, that's just family. There's no friends with that.
Right. Do you have something carved that one of you brothers made and gave you? Like either it's wooden beads or it's a carved bird or something that one of them gave you? Something that they made or that they bought in a crafts fair that they gave you, and you put it in your bedroom.
I mean, it's weird because right down at my feet is a box that my grandpa Clint Carpenter, made.
All right. Well, I'll take that, because they're showing me it's like something that somebody made. So your grandfather made it?
Yes.
Did you say his name was Cliff?
Clint.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have been 8 or 9, and I still have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a bird carved on it?
Actually, yeah, it's a red.
Yeah,
it's not carved though. I think it's just
painted or whatever, but there's a bird on it.
Yes.
That's what they're talking about. So they're saying they picked something that
Bessie is his wife, and I think you wanted a B name.
I did want a B name. So
what was the name?
Grandma and Grandpa.
Bessie.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. They don't when they say something,
she doesn't speak. She's quiet.
Yeah. But was she known for like biscuits or something?
My dad loved her mincemeat pie.
Okay. Yeah. She's known for like some kind of baked thing. Yeah. Yeah. But they're saying they wanted to find something that you had that, was iconic to you. So, a carved box. And it's really important. He said, your brothers are all like, oh my God, they're so sweet. Your brothers and your, your nephew, it's your nephew, right?
Yes.
And your father, they're all like lines up together. It's kind of like they present. Do you remember Princess Diana's funeral when they were all lined up walking behind the casket together?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, like, don't sweat it. Did they used to call you sis?
Oh, I was the youngest girl, so.
Yeah. But they called you sis or sissy or something like that?
Sis is another great aunt.
Oh, okay. And I'm hearing sis. And they're saying, don't sweat it, because we're together and we're happy and the family is together.
Yeah, I think I do know what you mean by sis, because that would have been David.
Right. It's definitely, he's calling out sis. And he's saying, you know, don't sweat the way we went. You know, because they all tell me it's literally like walking from one door to the next. And, you know, you're all connected and they're around you. One of them is showing, do you have Venetian blinds somewhere in the house?
All over.
Yeah, did one of them get snagged all the time? Like it gets snagged and you can't straighten it out and you go there and you're trying to straighten it out?
Yeah, I kind of just threw that one out.
Oh, one of them said I was doing that to you. You know, just to like tweak you to let you know that I'm around. You know, like all of a sudden.
I mean, I would not get rid of the thing. I just kept fixing it. I couldn't.
Right.
I just didn't want to throw it out for some
Right. But, you know, they're kind of like laughing about it, that they would come and mess with your Venetian blinds and then you couldn't straighten them out and you get frustrated and you would like shake them and you couldn't. And like, you could, how did this happen? I was there a minute ago. It was fine. Now all of a sudden they don't close or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's them letting you know that they're around you. Do you have a mobile somewhere in the house? Like something, a mobile, like something that, a wind chime, something that is hanging. Yeah.
Yeah, wind chimes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have a dog?
Yes.
Does the dog go near the wind chimes and stare at them?
I guess I've never really paid
Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. That's when they're around the house. You know,
sometimes they're barking and there's like nothing.
Nothing there. They're letting you know that they're there. But definitely they were fooling around with your Venetian blinds. It's like.
And it's by that door. That is so bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, they show me an image. I just report it and they show it because I know I get frustrated, but my brother fixes Venetian blinds. So I just call my brother and have him fix them. But they're showing me that they literally like screw with those Venetian blinds just to mess with you. Because I think they used to like to tease you a little bit, right? Did they?
Yes, that would be David and Lad both. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they used to.
So much sense now.
They used to like really mess with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you wear braids? They showed me braids. Did you wear braids?
I do braids a lot.
Yeah, they show me braids, like they'd pull your braid, but
that's not all they did.
Yeah, they did some like stuff for the record books. They're saying,
yeah,
you were a delightful sister. They said they couldn't have asked for a better sister, and you took it always in your good graces. You would just kind of say, "Oh, you guys," you know.
Oh man,
why are they showing me Kool-Aid? What's up with the Kool-Aid? With you and them, did you do a Kool-Aid stand or something? They show me Kool-Aid or like drinks. Did you have a food fight with them?
I mean, not that I can remember.
Yeah, they show me corn on the cob now. Like something where they flicked food at each other. There was something that happened at a barbecue.
I'd have to think on it. I mean, I've always had people, and I still do, well, not with COVID, but always cooking and making food and having people over. But I'm just trying to think of something now that makes sense, but at the moment I can't.
They said, go look in the pictures. Go look in your pictures.
Oh, okay.
Go sit down with the albums. And they said, talk about us to the kids. Okay? But not with sadness. All right?
Sherry, did we ever meet you before? Honestly, do we ever talk to you, meet you?
No.
Is there anything that my mom could have found online from you?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm not a Facebook person. I do LinkedIn, but I don't do much on social media.
It was incredible.
So I just
thank you for
more of an in-person type person.
Thank you for emailing me.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Keep in touch, Sherry. Keep in touch.
Thank you. I really needed to hear that.
Yeah, let us know if any of the names hit, you know, because Bess says you're going to find the others. Who's Arthur? Artie or Arthur? There's an A name. One of your grandfathers, did he have an A name? Abe, Artie, like an A name.
I'm trying to think of my Grandpa Ray's middle name, and I can't think of it right now.
There's somebody with an A name. It could be a great uncle. It could be somebody, but there's somebody with an A, like Abe, Arthur. There's definitely an A name. But write it down and you look.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Sherry.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Sherry.
you.
Nice meeting you.
Welcome. Nice meeting you.
you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Man, that was amazing.
You good, Mom? You good for
You can
You
do
good?
one more.
I got one more here.
One more. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey, Kim.
How are
Hi,
you,
Kim.
Kim?
How are you?
Phyllis.
How are you? Do we know you?
Nope.
No, we don't know you. Okay, because I never know if it's going to be somebody, a colleague or whatever. Kim, do you have a female who passed?
Yes.
Is it your mom,
No.
your grandmother, or a great aunt? Is there an aunt? It's an aunt, right?
No, grandma.
So it's your grandma. But there is also an aunt. Your grandmother has a sister who passed? There's two of them there. There's your grandma and somebody else is with her, a female.
I mean, both grandmas passed.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah, because they're coming together on this side. They're like on both. Yeah. But you were very close with one of them. You were really close with her, right? She's showing me cookies. Was cookies a thing with her? Did you used to bake cookies with her? Showing me specifically Christmas cookies, like baking Christmas cookies, like it was a big deal for her. Did she bake? No?
Not that I can remember.
How about the other one? Did she bake? One of them baked.
No. One of them used to, the one I was really close with, she'd bring like bags of boiled crabs over every Friday. That was a big deal.
That's better than cookies.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They both start with C. So now she's showing you that you connected over, like with the cookies, she's showing me that, like specifically like Santa Claus, like with the sprinkles, like cookies. I don't know. That's what she's showing me. So she used to come to you every Friday?
Yes.
Did she watch you or something?
She was just visiting, and for the weekend while my mom was at work.
Right. So she watched you while your mom was at work, right?
Yeah.
Who's the nurse?
Me.
Oh, you are. You're the nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. But your mom worked. Was your mom in the medical field too?
Yes, she did medical assisting and pediatrics and stuff.
Yeah, she's showing me her with a nurse's cap over her head, which doesn't mean she was a nurse, but like for me, that would mean anybody who took blood or worked in the medical, like she worked in the medical field. Your mom raised you alone?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Is your father here or on the other side? Your father's here.
Yes.
But there's another man on the other side. Is it a grandfather on the other side?
Yes.
Did he die a long time before you're like a long time ago?
Well, my grandfather died a long time ago. I didn't know him.
Right. But he's the husband of the one who brought you crabs, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And did her name start with an A, like Annie or Anna, or like that A sound like Hattie, Addie, or Arlene?
Actually, we called her Aunt Annie, and she was really close. She did watch us when we were children.
That's the other woman, not your other grandmother. That's the other woman who was there.
I said, I don't think it's my other grandma because she's,
Oh, she'd be there too. But was she related to the grandmother with the? I'm going to call her grandmother with the crab boil. Yeah. So was she related to her?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it was either her aunt or her sister, right?
Yeah, some relation because she used to watch my mom as well. So,
Yeah. She's showing up.
Okay.
So, okay. And I don't know why, but she's calling herself Adu Annie, which is from a musical. I forget the name of the music. Is it Showboat? I think is the musical. There's a song. I'm just a girl who can't say no. So there's a song from Adu Annie in that show, and that's how she's telling me Annie. So, so your grandmother was there something wrong in the end with your grandmother with her feet? Did she have lymphedema with it? What? Sorry?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were you taking care of her when she in the end, or she died suddenly?
No, my mom didn't tell us that she was dying, so we didn't know she was in the hospital, but we didn't know, how serious it was.
Right.
So
did she die alone, like in her sleep kind of thing? Like she just like didn't wake up, like she was in the hospital and she just drifted away?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I would think my mom was probably, I'm trying to remember if my mom says one of those things where you walk out the room and then that's when it happens. I'd have to ask her.
Mm-hmm. But she was like, in other words, she had been sick, but no, I don't think you guys realized how sick she was.
Right.
Was she kind of young when she passed, like in her 60s? Yeah. Yeah.
I think 58.
Yeah. Yeah, she was young. Was it cancer? Did she have cancer? Was it breast cancer? Did it was it in the chest area though?
No, I don't know if it metastasized, but
yeah, it was like, but it started in the gut, like in other words, it was like I'm seeing the trunk. Like in other words, I'm saying it's not like in the brain. Like in other words, it's in the trunk. No. Right. Okay. But I'm seeing it more towards the middle of her chest, like stomach or somehow it's connected. Like it's in the middle over here, and then it just kind of spread. And is it the kind of thing that by the time they diagnosed, it was too late?
Yeah.
She said it was better that way because she didn't want to put stress on your mother. Like, your mother was the one who was taking care of her, right?
Yes.
Who's Nancy?
That's my brother-in-law's mom.
Okay. All right. She's here.
Okay.
Is she here or is she passed? Oh, she's
passed? No, she passed.
Okay, so she's chiming in that she's there. So let your brother-in-law's wife know that you heard from her. She's saying,
okay.
Who was the card player? I'm kind of getting the feeling that Nancy might have been the card. Who was the card player?
My grandma.
Oh, your grandma played cards. And did your grandmother also knit? Was she known for her knitting? Somebody's walking around with a shopping bag filled with yarn and needles.
Yeah, I think that was Aunt Annie.
Aunt Annie, right. Because like I see all those balls of yarn with knitting needles sticking out. She's walking around with a bag. Your grandmother didn't want a long drawn out thing. She lived alone, right? She didn't live with you, right? And she wanted her independence. You know that she drove, right? She drove. Yeah. She didn't want to give up that stuff, and the sicker she got, she was dependent upon your mother and she didn't want to put that pressure. Was she always feeling like your mother got the short end of the stick? Like, did she always feel that your mother kind of got cheated out of an easy life?
Oh, yeah.
So she didn't want to add to her burden, not that your mother would have complained. Your mother never complained, but she didn't want to add to it. And she didn't want to ruin. She didn't want to make it harder for her. Is there an Eileen or an Elaine or a Helene, like one of those Ian names? Arlene, Eileen. It could even be an Ellen. And I'm also getting an S name. Who had the S name? Sally, Sarah.
No one I can think of right now.
Just write it down. Write it down. Okay. Did your grandmother have other grandchildren? Or your mother was it? Your mother was it and then you're it?
Yeah, my mom was it and I'm one of 3 kids.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were two, but two of you are girls and one's a boy?
Yes.
Right. Who has an H name? Somebody has a name that starts with H. I know you're going to think of it as soon as we hang up.
No.
That's the way it is. Henny? There's an H name. There's an H name.
Okay.
Okay, just write it down and it'll come to you. Did your grandmother originally, she used to work?
Yes.
Was she like an executive secretary or something? Like she was, yeah. She was very good at what she did. She was like one of those old time, like madman kind of secretaries. Do you know what I mean? Like they knew how to right? They knew how to take steno and all that kind of stuff. She's really proud of what you've achieved. You're the middle child? You're the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
You were the closest with her?
Yes.
Did she used to read one book to you in particular? Did you used to sit together, like cuddle up on the couch and she used to read to you? She used to read. Was she a reader? Did she like to read? You shared a love with her of something. The
newspaper. She always read the newspaper, but
you weren't. No, like she told you stories. There was something about the two of you that she would come over and you didn't go, "Oh, grandma's here," but you wanted to sit with her and maybe she talked about. Well, I don't know what she talked about, but you liked sitting with her and talking to her. Did you used to drink coffee with her or something, or tea?
No, she drank coffee all the time.
She drank coffee all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have something of hers, like a blanket? She's showing me like an Afghan blanket. Who has the Afghan blanket that Aunt Annie might have made for her?
Okay.
Who has that blanket?
Probably my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom's
missing. Where those things feel. They're itchy.
Oh, you don't like it? Yeah. How long is she gone?
My grandma, since 1980.
So it's been a while. You were a little girl when she went, right? How old were you when
I was 14.
14, yeah. Did you speak at her funeral?
No, actually, I didn't. I couldn't go.
No, you couldn't go.
No, I couldn't handle it. It was such a shock, when. I don't know.
Who spoke at her funeral? Did your mother speak at her funeral? You don't know.
No, I've never even asked because it was like something I just couldn't handle. So I didn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think my other siblings went to it, but for some reason, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't go.
Right.
My mom wasn't happy about that, but I had to do,
Well, she's bringing up the funeral. So it could be she's bringing it up. So I want you to know that she's okay with that. Like, in other words, she, when she brought up the funeral and you specifically, to me, in my head, I put together that you spoke at the funeral, but you know what I'm saying? So it's significant to her that she wants to let you know that it's okay. It didn't matter. The funeral is just for the living, and for those who needed to go, went. But she's like, okay, do you speak to your grandmother sometimes? You go like to the window and you talk to her or something?
Just in prayers.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Why are roses significant? Why would she show me roses, red roses?
I don't know. Sometimes I'll smell roses and there's none around.
That's her.
Like, what is that?
Wow. That's her. Did she wear perfume like roses or something?
You
don't remember? Yeah, but if you smell roses and she's not around, that's her. She's coming. She's in the house. She'll visit you. And like I smell cigar smoke. I know one of you kids.
That was today, me.
That was you. You smelled the cigar smoke. So, when she comes around, did she have rosary beads or something?
Yeah.
She did. Who has rosary beads?
Me.
Okay. All right. So this is
yesterday. In fact, I found them yesterday.
Right. So this is directed to you. So she's showing me the rosary beads. So she really wants you to know, if you're holding on to anything about not being at the funeral, let it go. She says she knows that.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Okay. Now that stuff doesn't matter. They're not even at the, that the funeral is for
Yeah, I
us.
didn't think it mattered either, but my mom was like, shame,
No, tell your mom. Tell your mom you spoke with grandma and she's okay with
Yeah,
it.
no, that's better. Okay.
Did you used to call her a nickname like Grammy or something?
Mimi.
Mimi. Okay. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. So, because she said, I'm not grandma, there's a nickname. All right. So
Right.
right. Mimi. So she says, tell mommy that you spoke with Mimi and Mimi's okay with it. Was she a smoker?
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah. She's showing me that she smoked, she your mother was her life, not that your kids weren't, but she was really proud of your mother. Who did I ask you who had the B name? Betty or Bernice or
A female?
yeah, I'm thinking it's a female, a B name. Or Liz
Bernadette?
Bernadette? Yeah, that would be it. Yeah,
Bernie?
who's that? Bernie? Who's that?
She was a good friend of mine.
Okay, she passed?
Yes.
Did she die of breast cancer?
Yes.
That's who the breast cancer was. Okay, so Bernadette is there. And did you take care of her in the end?
No, her family did, but I did get to see her before.
Right, you did something significant for her. Did you go to her funeral?
Yes.
You did, right. So you see, so it's not you, they're saying, okay? You went, okay, you were a kid. You were a kid for your grandmother. It was too painful.
Right.
Right, okay. Bernadette is showing me those cards that they give out in funerals, a mass card. Do you have her mass card? You kept it? You did. Okay, who's on there?
What saint?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I have to find it.
Let's take a look at it. Why is Elizabeth coming up? Why is the name Elizabeth coming up? Elizabeth's a saint too, right? It was somebody Lizzie or Elizabeth in your family?
No.
And is there a Maddie or a Maddie or a Marion? An M name. Is there a Melissa?
No, my other grandma was Mary.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not feeling that's it. I'm thinking the M name is here, but they're saying something is significant with Elizabeth. Like maybe that was on the mask. I don't know, but just check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Elizabeth was John the Baptist's mother, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Or maybe that was Anne. I get confused.
Right.
Yeah.
Kim, where'd you hear about us? How'd you log on? Because we've never met you in our life.
No, Inspire Nation, I saw your interviews with Michael I saw the most recent one, and then you were talking about the very first one, like you opened a show or something, so I went back and saw that one too, and
It's amazing.
I know. So
Michael Sandler's a great guy. I actually just did a testimonial for his book this morning.
Oh, did you? That's
so yeah. He asked me to write one. He wrote awesome writing experience, amazing automatic writing experience,
right.
And he asked me to write write. So that's amazing. Kim, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming, Kim.
I want to ask one other thing. Is there a Kathy or a Catherine or a Caitlin?
Catherine.
Catherine. Who's Catherine?
She was my best friend's mom. I was really close to her too.
Yeah, she's there with them. So you have you have like girl power behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a lot of women that are kind of linked arms and they're behind you and like this kind of thing, But your grandmother knows you have the rosaries and that rose smell. I'm hearing wind chimes again, and I asked the lady before, I think it was Sherry, if she has wind chimes. Do you have wind chimes too? Or do you hear wind chimes?
Well, I have some outside, but I have this one crystal one that's hanging in the corner of my room, and I always ask it to ring, but it doesn't, when I'm talking.
Is it rose color? Is it pink?
The rose color?
Yeah. Is it a rose color or pink?
No, it's crystal.
It's crystal because she's showing me like a rose-colored crystal. So I don't know if you have a rose-colored crystal around the house or something, but she's showing me like a rose-colored, like that pale pink crystal.
Okay.
So yeah, you have a clear crystal, but she's showing me like so look around the house, see if you can find something that's like did your grandmother also give you a cross, like a necklace? Who has the cross?
Um,
A little cross.
I think my mom does.
Mom wears it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's happy. It's like a white gold cross. Right? Is it?
And
Yeah. Or maybe
for a while she wore my grandma's wedding ring.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was white gold, but
yeah. I'm seeing a cross around somebody's neck, like a little small cross, like a tiny little cross.
okay.
Yeah. And you have something that's cloth from your grandmother. I don't know what it is, but you have something that's cloth, like a handkerchief. There's something that a tablecloth. You have something that was your grandmother's, or maybe your sister. You have a sister. Your sister.
Yeah, I think when you said that, I thought about my sister's wedding, and she did have something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but she did have something.
Yeah, ask your sister if she wore something, or she has something that was from your grandmother, and she was included in the wedding with that something. And it's like an embroidered handkerchief, or she's showing me now like a white Bible. I don't know if somebody has a white Bible from her.
Okay. I have a little one.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
She's definitely showing me, you know, like she's been a part of the events. There's a who has the granddaughter? Like the great granddaughter.
My mom.
Yeah. No. So your sister has a little girl, right?
Yeah. Well, she has two daughters, and then one daughter has just had a new baby girl.
Oh my God! So you're talking about great granddaughter, and none of those girls are named with a K, like Caitlin.
No.
Those were the K's they were talking about. That was what she was talking about. So they were all named with K.
Caitlin. Yeah.
That's what they were talking about before. She's calling out to her descendants. They're all girls. She has like all these little girls with the K name.
And that's probably why Nancy came up, because that's her grandchildren too.
Right.
and great grandchildren.
Right.
No, wait, great grandchildren. I'm confused.
No, great grandchildren.
Right.
It was nice. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. You
Kim,
too.
thanks for coming on. That was
Bye-bye.
amazing. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. That was
So,
fun. That was
Man,
Ma,
we have one more.
we
If
got
that's
one
all
more.
right.
Are
okay.
you down for it? All right.
Yeah.
One more.
Are you? If you're gonna pass out, it's,
No, we'll do one more. This is the last one of the night, guys.
The odd one was that hi Doris, how are you?
hey, Therese.
Good, how are you?
Hi. So I'm right away. I'm getting we don't know you, right? Like
No,
well, how'd you hear about us?
my husband, he watched a couple of the. He's in the limousine business.
Oh, he's in the limousine.
Go
did your
limousine.
mother- yeah. Did your mother pass? Or
Mhm.
It's your mother, right? Yeah. Was she sick for a while?
No.
So she died suddenly?
Mhm.
Did she fall?
No.
No. But you didn't know, like, in other words, you just got the call. You didn't know what had happened. You weren't prepared for it?
No, it was real quick.
Yeah.
And just like that, she was gone.
She died in the hospital?
No.
It was in the house? But I know it was like, there's unfinished business. Like, you didn't get a chance to talk to her. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Right. Who has a B name? Betty? A B name. Write it down. Who has a B name? So when you talk afterwards, all of a sudden you'll find out, is there Bernie, Betty? There's no B.
No.
Okay. Is there an A name for Annie? Hannah or Annie?
No.
All right, so just leave it. Write those names down because they'll come to you. But was your mom unsteady on her feet? Because I definitely got somebody falling, and that like that there was an unsteady. Was she unsteady on her feet? Did she have something like related to Parkinson's for a little bit?
No.
So there was nothing wrong with her, and then all of a sudden, you got a call to go to the hospital. Well, she didn't even make it to the hospital.
No, she died at home.
Your mother lived alone?
No,
So her husband was with her?
no, he's deceased.
He's passed too.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a Melvin? Is there a Melvin?
No.
An M name?
No.
No? Okay. Did she die of a massive heart attack or a stroke? It was like very
Heart
quick.
attack.
It was a heart attack. And did she have a history of heart issues or high blood pressure?
We didn't know if she did or didn't, because one minute she was here, the next minute she was gone.
I want to say that that there was a high blood pressure issue going on for some time. And I'm also feeling like there was something going on with diabetes or sugar, like it was kind of out of control. Like, in other words, was her sugar out of control? Was she being tested for sugar?
No.
Yeah. So there was a lot of things going wrong, but did she avoid going to the doctor? Did she hate?
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah, okay. All right. She's saying whatever happened to her, she brought it on by not paying attention to signs. Like, in other words, there were signs along the way, and she didn't tell anybody about it because she didn't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
Was she in her 60s?
No.
She was older?
Mhm.
She's saying we all have to die sometime, and she just didn't want to deal. She didn't want to go. Did she have a fear of hospitals?
She had a fear of anything medical.
Right. Yeah, because I'm getting like this so bad that she just wouldn't address it. She wouldn't go to the doctor if she could avoid it. You know, did you fight about the doctor with her? Did you fight that you wanted her to go?
When she was really sick and she wouldn't
Yeah, but
go.
did you used to try to, like, say, Mom, go for your mammography, like do things?
No, she would never go anywhere.
Yeah, so she was difficult about, like, she couldn't even broach the subject with her.
Yeah, you didn't.
You have a brother?
I have a few brothers.
A few brothers, but you're the only daughter?
No, I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers.
Oh my God, all with the same parents?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's a big family. You know what they say, that one mother can take care of 10 kids, but 10 kids can't take care of one mother.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So she has a lot of grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a grandchild that has the same name as hers?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. She won't tell me what the name is. Is there a G name like Gail or Gussie or Gertie?
Girl-wise, no.
Well, it could be a guy, Gus. What?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. I'm hearing the G name. I wouldn't have thought of Gabriel, but I hear the G name. There's a G name. That's one of her grandchildren?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there just a wedding in the family? Did one of the grandkids just get married? Or there's a birth or something, like something happened, like none of the kids got married recently? There wasn't a wedding or celebration? You couldn't get together because of COVID, but one of the kids didn't, like, get married?
Not recently, no.
Not recent, not since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago did she pass?
6 years. The 17th of October.
Right. And how long ago did your father pass?
He's been gone 25 years.
Long time. Did he die in a work-related accident?
No.
Did somebody die in a work-related accident? An uncle? Somebody died on the job?
Not that I know about.
No? Ask one of your sisters. Is there a Margaret?
Mm-mm.
No? Did I ask you about an M name? Because at this point, I don't know who I asked what.
No, there's no M name.
There's no M name. All right. So you want to know what happened to your mother, right? That's like really what bothers you.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, you couldn't have helped it. Like it. I believe she's showing me that she's lighting up all over, that there was lots going wrong, and she felt it was over. She couldn't even go to even start to, like, it was just, she wouldn't go to the doctor. You know that, you accept that she wouldn't go, and it's nobody's fault. Like, she understood the consequence of what might happen. My father died of a heart attack, and for a long time I used to go to mediums to find out if he had pain, because I was with him when it happened. And it was so fast. It was like this. And she wants to let you know she's coming through with my father to say it was so fast she didn't know what hit her. Like, she says, honestly, it was really the best way to go.
Okay.
Was she in bed when they found her?
On the couch.
On the couch. Yeah, she said it was like in an instant. She's showing me like the remote was in her hand and it fell to the floor. It was like just over very quickly. Do you have her reading glasses? Who has her reading glasses?
I have one of her magnifying glasses.
Yeah, she's showing me that you have glasses of hers. Right. Okay. Did you also take one of her pots?
No.
No, something from the kitchen. You took something from the kitchen. No? You didn't take something that was like memorable from the kitchen, like a silly thing, like a napkin holder, something like that?
No.
No? But you do have a magnifying glass.
Yes.
There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of people to take, right? Your children knew her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did she have a relationship? You have a daughter?
Yes.
Was she especially close with your daughter?
First grandchild.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's showing. Is there a Susan or Susie, Suzanne? An S name? Is there an S name? Shari? Okay. Stephanie. Okay. Yeah. There's certain names that I'll never get, so they'll just give me a letter. Is this Stephanie, the oldest grandchild?
No.
Who's Stephanie?
She's in the middle.
Okay. Right. It's one of your sister's children?
Yes.
Yeah. Why would she bring up Stephanie? Which one of the grandchildren wear glasses?
Oh, geez. There's a couple of them.
There's a couple of them. What about yours?
2 of my children do.
2 of you. Does that daughter, the one who she was close with, wear the glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who she's talking about. Who's the J name? Like Jane, Jenny, like there's a J name. No? She's telling me there's a J name. So just write it down and you'll figure it out afterwards. Did your mother used to make like a loaf cake or something? Was she famous for like this kind of loaf kind of cake that
No, she never cooked.
you never cooked? Who's famous for the loaf cake? I don't know if I'm getting my people confused, but was there an aunt or a grandmother that was famous for like a butter loaf cake? Something really like a pound cake. Okay, I'm getting a pound cake and I can taste it. So somebody is known for that. You can ask, you're one of the younger sisters?
There's 5 ahead of me.
There's
4
5
ahead of me in the restaurant.
She says, ask one of your sisters. Is there an Anna Marie or a Marianne or a Marianne? Like somebody with that Anna, like the 2 names put together, Catherine Marie or something like with 2 names put together.
No, everybody has D names.
Everybody has D?
Yeah.
All 10 of you have D names?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a big clue. But not the grandchildren are not all D's.
No. But
Okay.
there's no one with an M name.
There's nobody with an M name.
No.
Okay. Were you homeschooled?
No.
Who was the teacher? Who's a teacher?
There's no teacher.
There's no teachers? Maybe they're homeschooling. Are you homeschooling now?
Virtual, yes.
That's what, okay, she's referring to the homeschooling now, that you're homeschooling now. You work in the business?
No,
You don't help out with the limos?
no.
Okay, so you're homeschooling the children now, though, but you're like overseeing it, right? Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Did she have a dog?
Yep.
Was the dog there when she passed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody has the dog now?
No, he died.
He died?
Mhm.
Yeah. She loved this dog. Like, right? Did she? It was a love-hate kind of thing?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a love-hate, but no, she really did love the dog. Did the dog die of a broken heart when she passed?
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. She's saying, I've got the dog. Did the dog's name start with a D too?
No.
No. Okay, but like she's like I'm feeling like the dog. She told me Dottie, so I don't know if it's because she told me D's, but like I'm applying it to the dog. Like the dog has a Y at the end of its name. Did it have a Y at the end or an IE? That could like no. Did she ever have a pet that had a Y or an IE at the end of the name?
Not that I know about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did she like to do crossword puzzles? Was she known for doing newspaper crossword puzzles?
No.
Something with tiles or puzzles, something that required like concentration. She would be at a table and doing something.
No, not her.
Not her? But did you have somebody who did it?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. She drove, right? She drove
Seldomly.
seldomly. Was she a dangerous driver? Like nobody likes her behind the wheel?
Yep.
She's laughing about that. Yeah, she's saying now you don't have to worry about me driving. But she was like, you wouldn't put the kids in the car with her, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she wouldn't listen when you used to say something like, Ma, how could you do that? Like she's giggling about it. She thinks it's funny. But she used to aggravate you guys every time she got in the car, right?
We didn't go places with her when she drove.
Yeah, no, but when you knew that she was driving, you were nervous about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she wouldn't pay attention to road signs or she'd drive up on the curb. Like she just, she was an indifferent driver, we'd call it, you know. But she liked her freedom. And when she went the way, from what I've heard, it's like they call it a blessed passing because it's so quick that they don't even know that they've left. And who had an R name, a male with an R name? And the other name that's coming through is F, like Fred, Francis, Frank. I'm getting.
Our last name was Franks.
Okay, that's the Frank. She said to me Frank. Okay, so she's letting. Are you in Pennsylvania?
No.
No. All right. Did she wear a ring with a stone in it?
She didn't wear any jewelry.
But was there a ring with a stone in it that was hers?
I don't know.
You don't know. Who took care of everything? One of your sisters did?
Probably.
Yeah. Did she live in another state from you?
No.
Do you all live in the same state?
Yeah.
Man, you must like run a block. You probably own the school, all the kids. How many grandchildren are there?
I can't even think right now. Sorry.
Right.
Probably like 15, give or take, and then some great grandchildren.
That's so nice.
Is your husband Captain Kirk?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I know that because I see the Star Trek symbol and I know that he follows me. That's not psychic ability at all. There he is. What's up, Kirk?
And I kicked him out of his chair.
You know, I wish I could give you more. She's a quiet lady. Like, in other words, it's hard to get out of, things from her. Again, they're coming up that there's an S name.
Samantha.
Oh, did we say that already?
No, we didn't say an S name, Samantha.
Who's Samantha?
She is my sister's child who died at birth.
Oh, she's saying an S name. Okay, so that would make sense that she's saying the S name and it's her grandchild, right?
Yes.
This baby died in the hospital?
She was delivered in the hospital, yes.
And she passed
She
away.
already was.
She was
in utero.
Mm-hmm. Did your sister go full term?
No.
I don't. Did they force her into labor to take the baby?
Yep.
Yeah, they're showing me the seaweed. They pack them with seaweed and they expand. It's a procedure. So they're showing me, So she's got Samantha with her. So that's the S name that she was talking about. A perfect little baby girl.
Yes.
Is there a Christina or Chris, like a name, one of the grandchildren? Christina, Christian, Christian. Who's that? Christy? Christy. Who's Christy?
She's my daughter.
That's your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's calling out for Christy. Who's the child that draws? There's a child that does artwork or that's either creatively writes or draws. There's one child that is creative.
I don't know which one it would be.
Your Christy doesn't like creative, like she doesn't color or I don't know how old she is, but she doesn't write. Is she keeping a journal?
I wouldn't have any clue.
Oh, you don't have a clue? Ask her if she's keeping a journal. If she's I'm getting the feeling that one of the children wants to write like newspaper or articles or blogs or whatever. Like she wants to be one of those people who write.
I'll have to ask her.
Ask her. How old is your daughter?
She's 31.
Oh, she's an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was you look like a baby.
Oh, thank you.
So Christy has children?
She has one child.
She has one child. Because what I'm picking up on is somebody who's like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that. That's got artistic tendencies.
That could be my son Gabriel, but I don't know what he likes to do. So
he lives home with you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the gearhead? Who's the one who just likes cars, that likes to fix cars, or is like just in love with automobiles? Does he draw automobiles?
He draws all kinds of stuff. So
does he draw like the kind of like superhero stuff, like you know what I mean? Like he likes the kind of what do they call it, anime or something? Like
no, he doesn't draw any of that.
But he draws cars. Does he draw cars? He's
Limos,
showing me a sketchbook that's what?
He likes to draw limos and like
right.
Sport labels and
she's showing me cars, like things to do with cars. She's showing me that he likes to draw cars. And then you have a third child.
I have 4 children total.
4 children. So Christy is out of the house, but you have children in the house in school.
Just one.
Just one. And she's in high school. It's a girl?
No. It's
a boy?
One boy.
One boy, and he's in the house with you. And you're working with him with schoolwork?
Yeah.
Right. How old is he?
He's 12.
He's 12. Okay. That was the child that was. But I definitely got it's a girl is trying to journal. Somebody is trying to journal and is interested in writing. So she's visiting each of her grandchildren and great grandchildren and enjoying the different things that there's so many of them, but each one has a different characteristic that she enjoys observing them and Who had knitted slippers or something? Did she have like knitted slippers?
She used to crochet everything and anything. So
She's showing me the crocheting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Did she used to make you the slippers like every year at Christmas or something like that?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's showing me she used to knit for everybody or crochet. To me, it's the same thing. But who has her crocheting bag? You don't know.
Who has what?
Her crocheting bag.
I don't think anybody does. I still think it's in her stuff.
She loved that bit. Like, in other words, that was her jam. She enjoyed it. It was a labor of love. Is there a Lucille?
Not that I'm aware of.
Who's the L name? Somebody had an L name? Lydia, Lucille, Linda,
Well,
Lorraine.
her sister was Linda.
Okay, so she's with her sister. Is there?
No.
Her sister's here. So she's calling out to Linda. All right, because she made it clear that there was an L name. Listen, when they say it, you got to know, you got to find it. Do you know what I mean? So you're Doris. Who's Deanna? Which one of you is Deanna?
Diane, she's third oldest.
Third oldest. Which one of you is the cook?
The cook?
Yeah, who's the one who makes like the best food? There's one that's the best food.
We'll go with Dory.
Dory. Okay.
She's the best cook.
Doris?
Doris is the best cook.
Yeah, that's
No,
sweet.
you're just saying that because she's in the room, Kirk. Come on.
So you see the size of me, you know she's the best cook.
She's showing me like a mountain of mashed potatoes and roast beef and turkey. Like she like did you have who made Thanksgiving? One of you made Thanksgiving all the time.
It would be at her house with Dory. Dory would cook.
Dory would cook with her. So she's letting Dory. Like I'm seeing pot holders, like in other words, the kitchen. Right? So she's still very much around you guys. And you don't crochet at all, right?
I'm trying to teach myself, but I can't.
You can do, she says to me to tell you can do it. She says, take a deep breath and just do it. She says, Doris, you can do anything you put your mind to. So she wants you to crochet because she felt it was like very, what do you call it? Like helpful to a person, like, what do you call that? Restorative. She feels it's restorative that you need to do this. And Kirk could always use extra slippers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
But she really wants you to do that. Did your father have a shop or something? Did he have a business that involved trucking?
No.
Who has a business that involves trucking?
No one.
Like I know that Kirk's in transportation, but I'm seeing trucks.
Not that I could think of.
Okay, well, she's showing me trucks, like on the road, highway, like trucks.
My brother drives a dump truck.
Okay, all right, that's a big truck. I'll take that. Yeah. Is that Daniel?
Douglas.
Douglas, but there's a Daniel too.
No.
There's no Daniel? Did your father's name start with a D too?
No.
So where'd they get the D's from?
From what I heard, he used to like Debbie Reynolds when he was younger. So he named my sister, who's the oldest, Debbie. And they just went from there.
And everybody just got, I'm surprised they found so many D names.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah, it's really funny. Well, it's nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You're
Doris.
welcome.
Bye, Kirk.
Bye.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
That's amazing, Mom.
Yeah.
You ready for 5 more? I know. I see you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting tired.
It's Lauren Gish. I'm sorry. It's not Lauren Knock, it's Lauren Gish. Do you feel, see, and hear our loved ones? Are they around you, or do you see them around us when you're reading?
Sometimes, like the first thing I look for is the first thing I look behind people like this over here, and I get a sense of, like, for instance, I knew right away it was her mother. I don't know how I knew, but I just knew. That's like part of the clairs.
I just want to say, sometimes I feel that when people are live on air, they get a little nervous.
Right.
And like Sherry has been emailing me, and she's saying basically how a lot of what you've said, she's connecting the dots now.
Can you read those? Can you read those? Because there was a lot of no's in there, and it's like, you know, I don't want mom to feel embarrassed by she's reading.
Michael.
No, I know that. I know that.
Let me explain something to you. All I am is a conduit. There's no ego involved, and whatever I see or hear, I put it out there. And sometimes you get hits, and sometimes you don't get hits, and sometimes it's because a person just doesn't recognize it. I mean, I know my family very well, so when I go to a medium, I'm the one saying yes, 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 that I recognize because I know all my relatives. But a lot of people don't, or they're so fixated that they want to hear from one person,
or they want to hear about one thing,
that they're not going to hear anything else. So, and I'm tired at this time of the day, but so Sherry's calling and saying a lot of the names. I like hearing that because I'm just relaying.
She said that she had, she's piecing a lot of it together now.
Right. That's what happens afterwards. So you watch it over again. You go, oh my God, how did I not think of this?
Yep.
But when we go to a medium, we're so fixated that we want to hear from one specific person that we often don't hear. And they told that to me, like before I started doing this, I went to a medium and they said, they're talking to you all the time, but you're not listening. So I think everybody has to realize that they could all hear and they could all see, but they just have to kind of declutter a little bit and really listen or really look. I mean, I know both of you are trying to study it now. You're starting to, you're working with Edward, Michael, and I know Eric and Jen want to work with Edward, who was my first teacher.
Yep.
And I'm happy to share Edward's information if anybody wants it. But whatever I'm seeing, it means nothing to me. Like if I see mashed potatoes, that has no meaning. So you just say what you see. And maybe it has meaning to somebody, like that was their mother's favorite meal. And it's up to them to take the information and figure out where it goes.
To interpret it, right?
To apply it to whatever. And sometimes they just are not, they're not computing what they think it is because it's not what they're looking for. But to answer your question, it's more of a feeling. You kind of sense that someone's, like right now I sense my father behind me. He's been with me all day today. So I could tell you exactly where he is. I sense him. I know he's there. And it's that's the clear sentience, which is like just understanding. It's think like in thought. Like in other words, there's clairvoyance, which you see, clear audio, which you hear, and clear sentient, which is feeling. It's a feeling, and that's really what I rely on. And then I'll hear when you hear a name or you hear a letter, it comes at you very fast. And I've said this before to people. It's kind of like if you've ever been in a subway and the train comes past you and you hear that noise, and it's like letters are being thrown out at you or names are being thrown out at you. So, and then very often you start to doubt yourself. When I get a lot of no's, I like, for instance, I had heard the name Nancy, but I didn't say it. And then when she said her grandmother was Nancy, I kicked myself in the butt that's why I was throwing out so many names the last time, because I heard Nancy and I said, no, I'm not going to say it because I just felt it was for me. So there's certain names that appear a lot to me, and Nancy's one of them. Robert's another.
That's
Any
fine,
other
man.
questions? Yeah.
Everyone, go to Lady Phyllis. No, there's not. Joni Brezhnev said her mind is blown. This was great.
But yeah, no. Can you give where she got the teachings from?
I'm going to have you post it. His name is Edward Pierce. Write it into the chat. And you know what? If you write me at
it's Lady Phyllis medium@gmail.com.
If you write to me, write it up there on the chat so people could see it. If you write to me, I will put you in touch with Eddie, and he's a great teacher. Like I said, Michael's taking lessons with him now. It's not
I don't
easy
have the confidence to do what you do. I really don't. Like, I don't feel like
because you've got ego involved and you're afraid of being wrong. I'm not afraid of
no,
being
it's,
wrong.
it's not afraid of being wrong. I don't I'm not there yet. I'm not there with the confidence part yet. Really and truly.
Mhm.
You know, I think it's great. I want to be there.
It's it's amazing when you get a hit and you see the reaction that you've gotten from somebody that they've connected with people that they love. It makes doing this all the more worthwhile. It's a really nice feeling because I know how I feel when I connect with my parents or dad.
With that, good night,
Like,
everybody.
subscribe, leave comment, share. That was an amazing
Good night.
live thing. We have Frank Tufano on tomorrow, right, Eric?
Yep,
What do
Frank
we have coming
Tufano.
up?
And
then Friday night we may
we're
do something new.
yeah, we're kicking around something new, but Michael and I still have to work that out.
No, we got it worked out, Eric. Tell them what we're gonna do.
Wanted to do a happy hour on Friday night.
Who wants to go to happy hour on Friday night on air
with the Okon Bros?
With the Okon Bros.
If you guys want to get your drinks on and just sit and have a nice time, just because none of us can really go to bars at this point or go to restaurants and just drink. So we figured, let's see what would happen if we did a pop-up, Friday night, get all liquored up.
Bring your own booze, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're not supplying
BYOB.
BYOB.
One day we'll supply it when we have 5 million followers and we could buy everybody beer. Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan's in. Tammy's in.
All right.
That's it. We got 2 more people in. I'll drink with 2 people. At this point, I don't care.
3, 4 is a crowd.
Everybody like, subscribe, and go to ladyphyllis.com and get a reading with our mom. She's the real deal.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye. Love her, everybody.